In this video, we are going to be discussing how to write the equation of parallel lines. So to begin, I wrote the equation of both of these lines already for you. So line 1, which is this yellow line here, has a slope of 2 and a y-intercept of 1. That's this equation written here in red. Line 2, in green here, has a slope of 2 and a y-intercept of -4. You'll notice that these lines are parallel. The definition of parallel meaning that the two lines will never intersect. So the reason that these two lines will never intersect is hopefully that you notice their slopes are identical. Their slopes are the same. So parallel lines have the same slope, but it's also important to note that their y-intercepts have to be different. If their y-intercepts were exactly the same and they had the same slope, that would be exactly the same line, not parallel lines. So we want the same slope and a different y-intercept. In order to determine the slope of the line, we have to see that the line is in point slope form, which we learned earlier in our unit, or in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. The reason for this is we want to be able to clearly determine what the slope of the line is in order to determine if the two slopes are in fact the same, making the lines parallel. So for this first example, the first equation is in point slope form, and I can see that the slope of this line is 1/2. The second line is in the form y equals mx plus b, or slope-intercept form, and I can also see the slope from the equation of the line. So since this slope is 1/2 and this slope is 1/2, yes, these lines are parallel. In the other example, in line 2, I can already see my slope is -4. The reason I can already see my slope is -4 here is because it is in the form y equals mx plus b, because y is by itself. In line 1, y is not by itself, so in order to determine what the slope is, I would have to get y by itself. Since 2 and y are attached by multiplication, I would divide the 2 to everything on the other side. And my equation now is -2x plus 4. Since this slope is -4 and this slope is -2, these lines are not parallel. Okay. To write the equation of a parallel line, you're going to need a slope and a point. The first step is to recognize the slope given the equation that they started you with. So for this example, they want you to write the equation of a line parallel to y equals -2x plus 7 through this point. We must use this point, and we must use a slope given to us from this line. The only thing you want to use this line for is the slope. You don't care about the y-intercept. You don't care about anything else from that green line that I just highlighted. You only care about the slope. I can see the slope from this line is -2. So I know that if my slope of the line that they gave me is -2 and I want a parallel slope, I would have to also use a slope of -2. So I'm going to use a slope of -2 and the point -1, 4 to write my equation. My equation will go in point slope form, which we've been working with this unit. If you need help writing equations in point slope form, there is a video for that. So I'll start y minus, my y value is 4. The slope of the line is -2. And then x, even though my x looks like a -1, I make it a +1. We'll do one more example where you would have to convert the first line that they gave you. So when you look at this example, again, the only thing you care about from that equation is the slope. Right now, I cannot see the slope of this line because it is not in slope-intercept form. To get it in slope-intercept form, I would divide everything by 2. And even though I'm left with a fraction, I don't care because the only thing this equation is going to give me is the slope that I need to be using. So I want a line that is parallel to this line, meaning that my line has to have a slope of 3, and it has to pass through the point 6, -1. So I would start y, change the sign on my y value, 3 is my slope, change the sign on my x value. Notice that the directions here tell us to put the answer in point slope form and then convert to slope intercept form. This is my point slope form answer. To convert this to slope intercept form, I would distribute and then move the 1 to the other side. For the purpose of this video though, I really want to make sure that you're focusing on, can I get my equation that they're given to me into a form that I can view the slope? I use the same slope that I found from that equation and the point that they gave me to write the equation of the line in point slope form.